העמדת להרריos, להרריos, העמדת להרריos, להרריos, העמדת להרריos, להרריos.
Welcome everyone to Shalvah this week. And this week we're looking at a verse that's from the psalm for Hanukah. Psalm 30 is the psalm designated for Hanukah because it says Mizmor Shir Chanukah Habayit LeDavid, a song for the dedication of the temple. And on Hanukah we think about the story of rededicating the temple. And Psalm 30 is a psalm that's about transformations. It's a psalm that tells us that no matter how we think things are, they could be otherwise. And no matter how lowly or depressed or dark the way seems in front of us, it can be changed. It can be changed into light. So this verse in verse 8, it has this somewhat remarkable phrase, Ha'emadeta laharari oz, that you, God, make it possible for me to stand or cause me to stand as a mountain of strength. You know, we often in English we talk about a tower of strength, and that's a human image in some ways. Humans build towers. In Hebrew, we're more likely to talk about a mountain of strength, a natural image that the mountain is something that God made. God also makes us, and God can make us like the mountain, that strong, that immovable, that unable to be shaken. And that contrasts with the way we often feel, that we are shaken, we are vulnerable, we can be moved. And here we say, God can make us stand up like a mountain. So the idea is that we don't always feel that way, and maybe even more importantly, that we don't feel like we could get ourselves into that position, that we can't find that place in ourselves to find our strength. We feel weak, we feel at sea, we feel like we don't know what to do, and that there is a force in the universe that can fill us. And when it fills us, makes us feel confident, makes us feel strong, makes us feel unmovable, centered, rooted in the place we are as a mountain is. And that's the force of God. That's what we mean when we say God is a force that can fill us with that. So human experience is full of both of those modes. Right? We know that we have the experience of feeling weak, blown about, like as a driven leaf, as the ancients have said, as just a leaf being blown by the wind. And then, luckily, sometimes we have the experience of feeling strong, feeling like we know who we are, we know what we stand for. We can stand and be unmoved, even if the winds blow, even if others don't agree with our point of view, even if others maybe are trying to move us and to shift us off what we know to be right or what we know to be our way, we have the ability sometimes to be filled with this strength and to be stood up and strengthened, to be held by this force that God can pour into us. So on Hanukah, right, the Hanukah story is a story of the people feeling weak, feeling that they're living under an empire that does not respect their way of being, does not respect who they are, and what can they do? What can they do? What can their weakness do against such strength of arms? And we have these stories of elephants and huge forces being arrayed against us. What can we do? And the story is that despite all that, some among the people found themselves standing up, found themselves filled with the strength to stand, to say, we know who we are and we know who we can be, and we won't be moved. We will be like a mountain. We will be here, and you just need to go around us. But you can't go through us, and you can't go over us even. So that story too, we have the two modes. We have that feeling of weakness and being blown about as a leaf, and then we suddenly have this feeling that God's Spirit might be with us and that we can stand up tall, we can feel strong, we can know who we are, we can be rooted in our place. And that's that feeling that we get maybe when we light the Hanukah lights, that feeling that moves across the thousands of years between the Maccabees and us and allows us to feel some of what they felt, filled with that strength and be able to feel as rooted as a mountain.
So we're going to use that imagery to come into our bodies more fully. And we'll start by feeling our seat, wherever we're sitting, just really becoming aware of the contact there. Taking a couple of big, relaxing, deep breaths to bring us into the present. Feeling the contact of our feet, wherever they're resting. Sending another breath there. Feeling our hands resting on our laps or wherever they are. And sending another breath to your hands, feeling the points of contact there. Starting at the top of your head, aware of your forehead, your eyes in their sockets, the bridge of your nose, your cheeks, your temples, letting it go slack wherever you feel tension. The area around your mouth, your chin, your jaw. Breathing into the tension if there is any. Becoming aware now of the back of your head, the top to the base of your skull, all those muscles that are working that we don't usually pay any attention to. Just notice them and send some breath to them if you feel tension there. Be grateful for the work that they do. Your throat, your neck, the back of your neck. The muscles at the tops of your shoulders, the trapezius muscles that carry so much. Sending them breath, releasing any tension that you can. Your shoulders, your upper arms, releasing. Elbows, forearms, releasing any tension at your wrists, the heels of your hands, the palms, tops of your hands, and each finger all the way to the tip, just feeling it and any tension go. Your torso, feeling the expansion and the release of your rib cage as you breathe in and out. Taking note of the miracle of your body. That your body does this life-sustaining thing without any conscious effort on our parts. Noticing when you inhale and exhale, your belly rising and falling. Feeling into the middle of your back, your lower back. Sending breath and release towards any holding. And pausing to really take note of where you're feeling your breath. Feeling that stability of a mountain. Moving through your seat, through your thighs and hamstrings, releasing any tension in those muscles. We often experience holding when we bring attention to our bodies, when we do these body scans, holding that's unnecessary because we're sitting, but we're still so used to holding. So letting that go, feeling into your knees, your calves, shins, ankles, the surface on the tops of your feet, your heels, arches, the balls of your feet, the area between there and your toes, every little bit, all the way to the tips. Letting any holding go that you're aware of. And now feeling your whole body sitting here breathing. Casting your net of awareness, if it's possible, to your whole body at once. Or if that's challenging, you can just focus on your breath. Feeling how your body moves when it inhales and exhales. Noting how you're feeling in this moment. Are you calm? Are you uncomfortable? Are you thinking or planning? Keeping your attention gently focused on your breath, on your body. The shape of a mountain is built for stability, unlike a tower. A tower is tall and intimidating, but ultimately not going to last as long as a mountain because of the way it's the structure. So using that metaphor, helping us in the moments where we feel more brittle, like we're trying to force a shape or a position. Coming back to our bodies and our breath, if we can call on that awareness to bring us back to the stability that's underneath. Looking for opportunities in the world, like the lighting of candles, to help remind us to breathe. And when we see those Hanukah flames, we can use that as a reminder to feel our feet on the ground, to come back into our bodies and feel that stability. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes, take a stretch or a twist. Emadita leharirios, leharirios. 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 Emadita leharirios, leharirios.
So I hope we can take that image with us into Hanukah. And sometimes we think of the force of God coming into us like it's something from the outside. And sometimes we think of it, as Nina was talking about, it's actually something that comes from the inside. It's something we discover in ourselves, that we do actually have the strength of the mountain in us. We have that stability in us. And when we rediscover it and we notice it, that's when we can feel it. I hope we can all do that at a time of so much change. We can feel that stability in us. So thank you all for being with us, and Chag Sameach.